Salutations, my friends, and thank you for tuning in to another edition of the Occult World Series. I've titled this one Lucifer's Loose Legion, simply because we're going to be looking at things like the demonic army that is on the loose, all of the events that culminated towards the end of 2016 and Lucius, the Year of Light, and what that means as far as things like after-school Satan being implemented in the schools. But with that being said, let's jump right into it. Indeed, as 2016 ended, we started to see a lot of strange things, such as Spiritgate, or what I would consider spirit cooking, and Pizzagate. Whenever you combine both of them together, you start to get a real good idea of the type of world that we're living in. These satanic elite, if they have not told you, or if you're not listening to anyone that's not telling you about what these people are up to, the types of things they will do to win, the power that they will try to achieve through occult means, then they're not telling you the truth, because this type of information, all the types of things that we're seeing come out as far as Pizzagate and spirit cooking, I would definitely tell people, as I usually do, is go back and look at the work of Dr. Ted Gunderson, the retired head of the FBI of the Los Angeles Department, where he's actually talked about in depth for years about things such as this, the underground satanic pedophile networks, the satanic rings that are going on, and also go look at things such as the Hampstead case, where there are children that actually recount some of the strange things that they've seen in their environment. And what I'm trying to say is, where do you think these people get these ideas? Who tells them that it's a good idea to kidnap people? Why are we still dealing with things such as Planned Parenthood? You see, there's so many different strange things that have happened towards the end of 2016 that have been yet to be unanswered, that are carrying on into 2017. If 2016 was the year of light and Lucius, let me ask you a question. What is this?
My name is Annika Lucas. I am a mom. I have pets. And I'm currently the leader of an organization that brings yoga into prisons. I'm also a survivor of child sex trafficking. I was raised in Belgium and sold into a murderous pedophile network right around my 6th birthday. I was used in this network for 5 years and a half. Adult men that were part of this exclusive club were there for various reasons, but there was a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, and the children were the commodity, the highest, the most valued commodity, and were used for sex mostly. But there were a number of aristocrats that were part of this club who also liked killing children.
It's 2016. Priests are calling for more exorcists to fight what they are calling, quote, an army of demons. Satanic groups are openly organizing against Christianity, even at Christmas. And trendy festivals like Burning Man are increasingly resembling something like a religion. It's part of a general trend that has Christians worried, and Carl Payne, former chaplain of the Seattle Seahawks and an experienced exorcist who authored Spiritual Warfare, Christians, Demonization, and Deliverance, says the danger is real. Quote, Spiritism is on the rise in North America. Not spiritualism, Spiritism, and that's entirely different. Typically associated with contacting spirits to communicate with the dead in one form or fashion, he told World News Daily. Quote, the media is replete with programs and movies glorifying walking and talking with the dead. Can successfully contacting demonic spirits, which is what practitioners are actually doing when, whether they understand it or not, open up a person to actual demonization? Yes, it can. Is this done purposely? Sometimes it is. Is this done innocently or naively? Sometimes it is. Do demons care whether a person's motives are purposeful or innocent for involving themselves with demonic spirits? No. Payne said he had worked with people in the past who found themselves caught in demonic bondage, both purposely or through some thought of as a game or as curiosity. Demons have utterly one job, and that is to destroy. Now, you guys can find this article over at End Times Headlines, and there's a number of things that actually stood out to me about this that actually help, as I said before, come into the actual play of this video being created. The idea that they talk about an army of darkness or an army of demons being on the loose, and yes, that is very much true. All of the things that we talked about at the end of 2016 and recurring throughout 2016, the establishment of the Satanic Temple, the establishment of the Satanic International Headquarters, the implementation of After School Satan, all these types of things. Yes, I know, they totally seem on the up and up. Religious freedom and all these other things. But what we have got to realize, guys, is that there's more ways for these demons to actually enter our life. Whether or not people want to realize that there are negative entities, demons, ghouls, however you want to look at them, evil entities that wish you harm. And as the article said before, spiritism is on the rise. Now, one of the things we've got to understand is that people can be entirely spiritual, as I am myself heavily, and you hear this throughout the themes of the shows and the videos. But spiritism, where you are communing with the dead, that is something else entirely. I believe if you associate with the dead long enough, eventually you'll take on the same characteristics of those people. You yourself will become dead. This is why, as I've said before, there are more warlocks, necromancers, people who commune with the dead, sorcerers, and all these other things. You see, necrophilia, people that have intercourse with the dead and all kinds of other things like this, they do occur. You see, so there are people that are communing with the dead. And this is, if anything, something that's gone on for quite some time. But what we've got to realize these days is the intention behind it. Look at what's happening these times, or during these times, these days. We just gracefully try to walk into 2017. No, as I said before, all of the occult, esoteric, satanic, and Luciferian things that took place at the end of 2016 are now coming in to 2017, Anno Domini. 2016 was the year of light, Anna Lucius. 2017 is Anno Domini. I forget what Domini is, but I think the year of domination. And what this means is that we're going to start seeing more and more pushes, more and more waves of this intensity occur. That's the only way that I can explain it. A New York woman who levitated 6 inches off the ground mysteriously spoke in foreign languages and demonstrated paranormal powers made medical history in 2008 because of a panel of doctors from the New York Medical College who agreed that she was possessed by the devil. In presenting the case of Julia in the New Oxford Review, board-certified psychiatrist Dr. Richard Gallagher cautioned that religious practitioners should be on alert for what he called, quote, a rapidly growing worldwide phenomena. Gallagher's warning was on point, says an exorcist who claims there are now so many devils out there that the Vatican can't recruit enough exorcists to chase them away. I'm sure not a lot of people would like to join the Vatican simply because we understand how corrupt this institution has become. And can you blame them? I mean, as I have right there in the bottom, exorcism schools opens in Argentina for non-priests. But the article goes on to say that Father Vincent Lampert, who we've talked about on these types of series and on the show as well, the head priest at St. Malachi's in Indianapolis in Indiana, reports he was about one of 400 Catholic leaders who met in Rome in October to strategize on how to recruit and train more exorcists in the dark arts, which uses holy water and prayer to combat evil. There are other ways as well, but as you can tell, this is the way that the Catholics try to do it. And this is what we need to understand as well, as I tried to talk about in the previous article. Spiritualism is not religion the same way Spiritism is not spiritualism. You see, there's all kinds of different ways we've got to look at this, and we've talked about this before in these videos, in these episodes, the demonic hierarchy, the angelic hierarchy, the powers, the dominions, and all the other things that we're seeing, you see. The situation is dire, he said, because rampant pornography, illegal narcotic use, and the occult has made it easier for Satan to cast his net. Quote, exorcisms is like triage. We're the emergency crew, but there aren't enough of us, Lampert told the Post. Lampert, who says he recently chased a demon out of a parishioner who was cursed by his girlfriend's mother. Said he was about a dozen priests representing the U.S. at the International Association of Exorcists Conference, a Vatican-sanctioned retreat. He says, quote, "Many drug traffickers practice forms of the occult. They incorporate voodoo and black magic that gives them power to succeed." As I said before, Hillary Clinton sacrificing a chicken to Molech after one of her events. What we need to understand, as I've said before, there's so many different ways to combat this. There's so many different ways to be aware of, yes, that demonic legion that is on the loose. Yes, the spirits that they're letting loose and the types of things that people are doing, the portals that people are opening and not closing, and the types of things that we do in this occult world that pulls forth this energy. And I know some people would like not to believe that their actions affect other people and that they don't have to take ownership of themselves, but indeed we live in a world, in an ecosystem, in a reality to which we affect one another. And whenever there's people out there who are casting these types of spells, who are sending out these types of ideas, these thought patterns, these vibes, this wave of energies you see, this mindset that people can pick up, indeed they are trying to wish people harm. And I don't think a lot of people are understanding that. Have you not noticed how the gradual dehumanization is taking place? We no longer care for many things. We don't care for ourselves. And if we don't care for ourselves, if our body is our temple, what does that mean for what is inside the temple? Do we care for our souls? Do we care for salvation? And we're not asking these questions. We would rather be entertained by the devices of the devil. And if you ask me, one of the biggest devices, or one of the worst devices of the devil, is that of one of these modern churches, one of these mega churches, as provided by Joel Osteen, or provided by the 501c3 churches, these government-regulated churches where they have their own doctrine. You see, we have a lot of people in church that don't understand what it is that they're trying to understand, and a lot of people don't understand that these occultists, these Satanists, these evil people, they understand the Bible deeper than you do. You don't think that they can pick these types of things up and understand the prophecies that they're trying to fulfill, to give them more power, to assume more power? And if we don't realize the types of things that these people are doing, how will we be effective? How will we realize these wolves in sheep's clothing? You see, but this is just my opinion, as I said before, with the Roman Catholic Church, with the Vatican. So many of these, quote, spiritual institutions or religious institutions are compromised. And we know this, as I've said before, with the Vatican paying close to $4 billion in child molestation lawsuits. Satanism has infiltrated the Christian church, which Beth Eckert says in her latest video blog, quote, "All the devil has right now is his tricks and lies, and we need to stop believing them." Eckert says, Beth grew up underneath satanic abuse in the Mormon church, but recently she discovered the abuse didn't end there. Rather, it continued. Even when she started attending a Christian church, what did it look like? How is there witchcraft present in a place that worships God? How can we truly understand half of these things that go on if we don't understand our enemy? We are not meant to be in these types of places that preach their own types of doctrine, that tell you these types of things, that do spy on you, that try to govern your own spiritual growth, that don't tell you to look inside, but instead tell you everything you want to hear. As I said before, you need to worry about people that tell you everything you want to hear. These are soothsayers. These are liars. We need to understand the depths at which these people are operating. Yes, indeed, Satanism has infiltrated the church. But what does that mean? Does that mean that they're more organized than the church? What does the church do? Because now that we have these types of things going on, now that they're demanding freedom, as Christianity has had for quite some time, what does that mean? And if we play these games, if we let them fulfill the prophecies that they know they're doing, carrying out these evil deeds, feasting on the fear of people, you see, if harnessing that negative energy, channeling it into something destructive, perpetual, negative, then there's no way that we can be effective. And we need to understand it's more than just pointing a finger. It's more than just saying who's right and who's wrong. There is a spiritual battle taking place, and if we don't understand that indeed Lucifer has let loose a legion of demons upon this earth, and there are people carrying out their will, as well as other people opening themselves up to be vessels for these demons, that we won't truly understand the depths at which our enemy is trying to go. You see. And that's all I'm here trying to do, is ring the bell, blow the horn, shoot the gun, and let people know that we need to do something about this. However, that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. I'll have it in the description bar below. And as always, guys, stay vigilant, expose lies, and share truth. This is Noisera, Freedom Faction, out.